All right, so I asked you to open up to page 3 in your packets. How many pictures did we get through? Looking around, it looks like we just did 1. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This class might be a little behind everybody else because I think we're a little chatty, not just you guys, me too. So we're gonna try and stay on schedule today here. So we went through, so was this the only picture we've done?
Yeah.
That's it? We didn't even do this one? All right, so we're gonna run out of time here. So let's do 1 observation, 1 inference, 1 prediction. But here's the kicker. Write your observation. Then your inference has to be based on that observation you made. And that prediction has to be based on that observation that you made. So let's review. What's an observation? Right, so it's something you use your 5 sentences or 5 senses for. Something that's blatantly there, no thinking required. In this case, since you're not actually at this place with these people, you just can see it. So just give me one thing that you can see. Don't think about it, just anything that's there. No guessing for an observation. Let's hear some of the examples that you're writing. Shoot, I don't know most people's names. I lied in this class. I'm not ready. But you are Izzy in the back. Izzy, what's one observation you got? There is sand. Perfect. Give me another. You're a Sam. Sam.
Wearing shorts.
She's wearing shorts. The other Sam.
There is water.
There is water. Any of those work great. Now I want you to take your observation you made. So if you used there is water, I want you now to make an inference. What's an inference? A guess based on that observation. So there is water. So was it Sam? You said there's water?
Yes.
So Sam, your inference has to be a guess about the water. The other Sam, there are girls wearing shorts. So make a guess about the girl wearing shorts. While we're at it, let's do the prediction too, because a prediction is still a guess, but it's a special guess. It's gonna, so that means it's about the future. So to clear this up, we've been having some trouble all day with the predictions. Basically, I took this picture. Oops, I just gave some of it away. I took this picture. It's one snapshot in a moment of time. A prediction is about what happened after this picture. Could be 1 second after this picture, or a minute, or 10 minutes, or 3 years from now. Something that is about the future. Did anybody else make the observation there is water? The Kaylee? No. No, that's crazy. There's somebody's name in here is Kaylee though, isn't it? Hi, Kaylee. Your name is... I don't know, what is it? I should remember that. Paige, you said there's water. What guess did you make or inference about that water? You didn't make one? What did you make? You didn't make one? Okay, it's time to make one. So tell me, you who aren't there, what's one guess about that water you really guess it? Doesn't have to be right. Water's moving. Okay. Anybody else use the water or wants to do the water one? Sam.
The water is cold.
The water's what?
The water is cold.
Clean. Yeah, you don't know. You're not there. Water's cold. Water's warm. Any of those would work. Sam, anything about the girl wearing shorts? No other Sam. Keep it appropriate. That's my daughter.
Wait, you said?
The girl's she went swimming, okay?
Gonna.
No, not gonna. That's the future. I want to bring just a guess about it. So you could have already guessed she went swimming. Izzy, what do you got? They're at the beach. So with a guess, with these, and that's a good one, with these inferences, because now I'm thinking Sam might have been a little confused too. Remember, you could guess where they are, what the temperature is, how they're feeling. You could guess who they are. Like a lot of people would probably guess this is her sister or something like that. You could have guessed it's her cousin. I don't know. So guesses are, or where they're from. You could guess they're from Buffalo. You can't see that quite. My brother's wearing a Buffalo Bills shirt, but not all people from Buffalo wear Buffalo Bills shirts. So anything that's just a guess, as long as that guess isn't about the future. Anybody have a good one? Or even better, does anybody have one they're not sure about? Those are the ones I want to talk about more than the correct answers. You guys all positive about yours? Jaden, did you have one? Yeah, an inference, sorry. Kids are playing in the water. They could just be standing in the water. They could be forced to go there by their mom and their aunt who made them take a picture. Austin.
The girl on the right doesn't like water.
The girl on the right, this one.
No, the right.
Well, this is my right if I'm looking at this right?
Yep.
Okay, she doesn't like water.
Because she's dry and she's standing.
Oh, because she's dry and she's standing on a rock. You got a reason. All right. I thought you meant this one because she looks pissed off. And I don't know if you can see, but she's also wearing socks.
Oh.
Okay, so here's the deal. She actually burned her feet pretty bad, and they have to stay covered so they don't get sunburned and stuff. She's fine now, but she wears socks. Then she thinks, because it was a big boo-boo, she thinks as long as you put socks on the boo-boo, everything will be okay. So she got stung by a bee on her hand, and she walked around the whole day with a sock on her hand. Anyway, moving on, prediction. How about that? I want to hear from somebody I haven't heard from yet. Okay, Michaela. They're going to get wet. Seth, what do you got? Baby's gonna fall in the water. Liam? They're gonna go swimming. Perfect. I think you go, okay, Sam.
There could be a tsunami.
There's going to be a tsunami. A little dramatic, a little excessive, but that works. All right, let's move on. Okay, so if you haven't gathered, I use these pictures to teach, but also to introduce you to me and my family. We already established this is my husband, that's my dog. That's Rufus. This is my oldest daughter, Grace. This is my niece, and that's my brother in the background. Let's do another one. You cannot do that. All right. No, she has very, they call them like, you're gonna put your crown on. All right, give me an observation. She's flying. The girl is in the air. Maybe not flying. Girl is in the air. No, I'm gonna call on some people randomly here. I just gotta get my names because I can't remember everybody. Sienna, do you have one? Just a plain old observation. She's jumping. Done. Perfect. Over. How about Abigail? I know it's one of you two. I just don't know which one. It's you. Okay. Girl is jumping. So then that may, are you Natalie then? Okay. What do you got, Natalie? Just an observation. Can you tell from this picture it's warm outside?
No,
What made you think it's warm out? Let's go there.
Well, because everyone's like in their swimsuits.
Done. That's it. Okay. So you, I mean, yes, you're not an idiot. You know it's warm out. That's why everybody's dressed like that. But observations are more simple. Okay. So you got it right. You knew it was warm out because they're all in their swimsuits. So the observation is they're all in their swimsuits. The perfect inference would be it's warm out. That's a very tricky one because you guys have been around for 14, 15, 16 years. You know when people dress like that, it's warm out. But that's still an inference. It's still a guess. Adam, you got one? The girls in the air. All right, let's move on. Unless, wait, does anybody have one they're not sure of? Like Natalie there, that you're like, I thought it was good because it makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, so she jumped to get there. She could have been thrown. Her father could have picked her up and thrown her in the air. You guys know that dads like to dramatically throw their children. Sometimes they think it's fun. Us moms start to get a little nervous about it. So are we moving on to inferences or do you still have an observation?
I was gonna do an answer.
All right, do an inference, Jenna.
I said she was a gymnast.
She was a gymnast, right? Okay, so what observation led you to believe that?
She's doing split.
Okay, and not only is she doing a split, you might also notice the fancy hands. We've already established that. Pointed toes. Their average Joe does not do, even if they can do this, it doesn't look that good. So yeah, gymnast, cheerleader, dancer, probably not a hockey player. Sorry to all you hockey players. Jose, what do you got?
She's a ballerina.
Yeah, oh, yeah, dancer. She's a ballerina. That not everybody can do that. Same beach as the last picture. It's not. That one was in Massachusetts. This isn't. She is a gymnast. To answer that, she is not a ballerina. She would be like against you. I definitely don't call her a cheerleader. Austin, what do you got?
She looks up to Simone Biles.
She looks. That's a good one. You're guessing who her hero is. I don't know if it is or not. Yeah, Sam.
She could be related to those two other people.
That's a good one. So you are just guessing she's related to these people. She is not. They're just in the background. One more, Izzy. She's posing for a picture. She was, but she also just does this all of the time. I have a video of her in the mall doing back handsprings, back layouts officially. This is so the other girl was my oldest daughter. This is my youngest daughter. They are both gymnasts. She's just out of control with it. And no, I have no idea who those people are in the background. Just to prove a point, there's another picture.
Whoa, she's about to fall.
She's not.
She's doing an aerial.
Yep.
Yeah, it's an area.
It's an aerial. This is not as pretty as the last one. Notice she's not too happy with. She's like, ew. So she doesn't like that picture. It is a pretty cool photo. I really like the shadow situation below it. And in case you're wondering, that one's my mom, but I don't know who anybody else is. Let's do one last one. This is not Rufus. Take a look. There's Rufus.
It's Rufus's brother.
It's not.
Looks like it's Joella in a Rufus body.
So Rufus is a Doberman. Oops, wrong button. This is Charlie. Charlie is what's called a German Pinscher. They're technically not even related to the Dobermans. But she looks like a small Doberman, but not as small as a miniature Pinscher. What are you all laughing at? So this is Charlie, and Charlie is a girl. Not that it really matters, but Charlie is a girl. Technically, Charlie was born with a uterus and testicles, no ovaries, and she had girl parts on the outside, but was also growing a very small boy part on the outside as well. So Charlie is legit a hermaphrodite, and we did not know that about Charlie till after we named her Charlie. So it just works that her name worked for both.
Wait, so is it a boy or?
We thought she on the outside as a puppy, she looked like a girl dog. And she squats, she doesn't lift her legs. So that's fun facts about Charlie. It was all one part. I can describe it more when I'm not in front of a group of 30 teenagers. In case you're that curious, I can have a one-on-one conversation. It is not my area of expertise, and I'm not comfortable talking about it with everyone. Anyway, this is Charlie. Her and her sisters all had the same issue, that they were legit born hermaphrodites. Anyway, give me an observation that you can tell from this picture, which is not any of those. Barrett, I haven't heard from you at all.
Got big eyes.
Big eyes. Kaylee, I haven't heard from you either. There's a dog. That's it. We don't have to get complicated. Who else have I not heard? And that's because I cannot remember who you are. Give me you're Emma.
Yeah.
Okay.
The dog is wearing a collar.
The dog is wearing a collar. Perfect. Not technical, not thinking, nothing. Lydia, do you have one? The dog is, I guess, smiling. Yeah. All right, give me an inference. I'm sure you guys have some good ones. What do you got, Jenna?
I just said that it might be a boy.
Might be a boy. Yeah, you can't tell from the picture. Now that you know a little bit about Charlie, it really rings true. But Seth, what do you got? They could be at a creek. They could be at a beach. They could be in the woods. We don't know exactly, but you see rocks. You might be able to see a little bit of water there. You guys know what that probably means. What do you got, Izzy? They're going on a walk, like not like they're going in the future, but they're on one right now. Yes. Jose?
Is happy.
Okay, right. We can't tell if this dog is happy. We can guess it's happy because it's smiling. Did anybody else think this dog felt anything else besides happy?
Yeah,
Oh,
at
right,
first
you're
I thought it
scared.
looked scared.
She is terrified right now. So in real life, what's happening here is we're on a walk in a creek. I am standing in the water trying to get her in. And she is saying, please, mommy, please don't make me go, but I'll do it if you make me. That's what she's doing. I didn't call on you at all. Wait, I gotta figure out your name. I know it. I don't know it.
Rhymes with Atlanta.
It has a T.
I would have never guessed that. Trenton, give me an inference now, so guess about this.
They're going on a walk.
Like going like right now or in the future? Yeah, right now. So be careful with your wording. Because it's correct. They're on a walk right now, but going, like going to be going in a few minutes that's a prediction. Sam?
She's scared to go to the dog fights.
Yes. Oh. And Izzy will do the last one for an inference. What? Oh, you want to do a prediction? Yeah. Okay. All right, well, I guess we'll move on to prediction. What do you got? They're going to go home. Give me another one, somebody.
The dog will slip its collar and run away.
Wow, that's terrible. The dog will slip its collar and run away. That is about the future because she is so scared. You're right. It's legit. What do you got?
They're gonna go swimming.
They're going to go swimming. Sam?
They're
They're going to go back home. Jenna?
But the dog was smart.
That
That
was
was
good.
my
Yeah.
prediction.
And Ethan?
The dog looks like it's gonna be in pain. for
Going
about
to be
5
in
minutes.
pain. She's so sad. All right, so that is my entire family. We've got Rufus, Charlie, 2 kids.
You
A
forgot
husband.
Ruby.
No, Ruby's dead.
Oh.
Sorry, she was 15 years old. But way to listen to my stories. I love now make sure you can remember the earth science as much as you can remember my dog's names, okay, people? All right, as long as we're here, let's flip the page so you can see what your homework is going to be. We can even maybe manage to do 1 or 2 together right now. So teachable moment. What is the very first thing you do when you turn to your homework page?
Name and homework due.
Yeah, I mean that you can, if you want to write that, you can do that. That's just me. Yeah, Adam?
Is it 5, or is it 4 through 6?
No, it's 4 and 6. And like I said earlier, we're probably going to complete 6 together in class. It just might be finish it up. So what should you first do when you open up and start working on your homework? Okay, you can do that too. Man, you guys are well trained. After you write down your name and the date and all that stuff, what do you think, Emma? Read all the directions. How many of you skip directions? Yeah, me too. I'm not gonna lie. I tend to skip directions. Yeah, it's not that necessarily that you personally are lazy. We're just lazy in general. Humans are lazy. We're not necessarily even lazy. We're just trying to get the work done with the least amount of work, like least amount of effort. I will caution you to not do that. on Regents exams specifically. The Regents, half their job is tricking you. They're a bunch of jerk faces. I could think of some other names, but again, I shouldn't tell you them. But they're just big old jerks. And they try to mess with you. And sometimes what they do is they put some really important piece of information in what looks like the directions, but it turns out they're not directions. And here, let me show you what I mean. If you flip over to page, what is that, 5 then? This question 3 right here is the best example of this. Where does the question start for question 3? This, right? That's the actual question. The path of the ash cloud was most probably determined by. If you don't read this, you will have missed that the map was developed from satellite photographs. So because it was developed from a picture, is it a guess, an observation, a theory, or a hypothesis? If it was, you took a picture and you made a map, that's an observation. But how many people would have guessed that that was a guess or a prediction because you didn't read it?
It's silly.
It is silly. I agree. What do you want, Sam?
For the home,
Mm-hmm.
after you like.
Let's do what?
Determine
Mhm.
determine it's an inference or like whatever.
Yep.
For the reason, does it have to be the same every time or different?
Nope. Let's give an example and maybe that will clear up any questions you have, but no, it does not have to be. So let's do this first one. So it does say for each statement below, determine if it's an observation, inference, and prediction and explain your choice. I'll add to that, instead of writing observation, you're welcome to do I's or O's, I's, and P's, if that makes your life just a little bit better. And for the reason, you can see it's a small box. I am not looking for even a complete sentence. I am a firm believer in a complete thought. So make sure you write everything you're thinking, but it doesn't have to be a complete sentence. All right, so let's do this first one. Oh, and I should say for all of these, I want you to imagine you are there looking at the sample. So you're not just, it's not like these pictures where you could only see what was going on. You couldn't touch or feel or measure anything. So this one, the sample was transported by a glacier over 1 million years ago. Let's go through the list. Is it an observation? Why not?
Because they're not physically there.
Right, you couldn't see the glacier 1 million years ago. You weren't there 1 million years ago to see how it got there. So it's not an observation. You cannot use your 5 senses, but this is similar to the one Natalie was talking about earlier, that it was warm out. You can assume it was warm out, but because you're assuming it was a warm out, that's an inference. So is this an inference or a prediction? Why is it not a prediction?
Because it's not talking about the.
It's not about the future. So how can we explain that it was a guess or an inference? It's a guess based on an observation is what I would put. So like I said, that's not a complete sentence, but it is a complete thought. It's a guess based on an observation. This next one, again, you're there, you're looking at the sample and you see it's rectangular with sharp angular corners. That makes it an observation. And how can you explain how you know that's an observation? Yeah, you see it. And that is legit all I'm going to write. You could do, you can see it, but it is too, guys, remember what I said about being lazy? I'm kind of on that same boat. So keep it simple, see it. All right, you have 10 more to do. So for the record, this homework assignment will be worth 20 points. 10 for the correct, or well, 10 for filling in the I, the O, and the P, 10 for filling in the rest of the reasons for a total of 20. If you only do the I, the O, and the P, you get 10 out of 20. Got it? All right. Don't work on that anymore for now. If you finish what we're about to do on page 6, then you can go back. So we're going to flip over to page 6. Yes, we'll get back to page 5, but not today. So right now we're going to do just a little bit of review What time do you guys leave? Actually, let's start there. 27, all right, perfect. So we're probably not gonna go over this today. This is what you're gonna just have to finish and we'll go over it again tomorrow then. So we're gonna be doing some review because sometimes numbers are just too big and sometimes numbers are just too small. In other words, this is scientific notation review. Does that word, those words even sound familiar, hopefully?
Yeah.
Are most of you good at this already?
Somewhat.
Okay, let's quick review it. I am not teaching it to you, I am reviewing it with you. So if you are stuck on this, this is something you're going to need to get help with because I'm going to go kind of fast today. So it says scientific notation is a way of expressing numbers that are too large or too small to be conveniently written in decimal form. A negative exponent shows the decimal is moved that many places to the left, and a positive exponent shows the decimal is moved that many places to the right. So that actually is describing if you're given the number, so like down here, these last three, if you're given the number 6.38 times 10 to the 6, the positive exponent, the positive 6 means you go 6 places to the right with the decimal. So in that case, it's here. So the 6, here's the decimal point, and we want to go 6 places to the right. So that would be 1 place, 2 places, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so you fill in the zeros into those empty loops. And so that goes 6, 3, 8 with 4 zeros. If you want to put the commas in, you can 1, 2, 3, comma, 1, 2, 3, comma. So that's 6,380,000. But the top of this paper is basically going the other way. So I give you the big long number and you have to put it in scientific notation. So let's make sure you know where this first one came from. Yes, I already did it for you, but I do just want to make sure you know how to do it. So in this number, 65 million, where is the decimal point living? So we're not looking at the answer right now. Where is the decimal point living in that number right there? At the end, and by the end, I hope you mean right here. So that's where it is in this case. With scientific notation, it's right here at the end. With scientific notation, you always want to have a number and then a decimal point. So you always want it to go between the first two numbers. So it'd be 6.5 something. So 6.5 times 10, and we got to figure out how many spots we got to move it over. So if it's here and we need to go all the way over here, you count, you're not counting the zeros, you're counting the spaces in between. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 6.5 times 10 to the 7th. Again, you're not counting the numbers, you're counting the spots the decimal could live. So we have about 5-ish minutes. I'm going to let you work on the rest of this. Some of you have it, you aced it. Others need more review. Call me over and I will help you. We'll go over this and page 4 at the beginning of class tomorrow. So I am checking to make sure you have both page 6 and page 4 done tomorrow. I'm thinking you can get page 6 done before you leave though, or pretty darn near close to it. All right, let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to walk around and help.